Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a peek outside that weather window. And boy, it felt like almost a carbon copy of yesterday, didn't it? This looking over the Wenatchee Valley, or is that Lake Chelan? It looks like it might be Lake Chelan. Yeah, it is. And pretty much the same scenario up that way too. We have this inversion going on and the cold air has just been trapped here in the valleys. And we saw that once again today throughout most of north central Washington. This is a beautiful look from Skyfi, and thank you to Local for that. But it just didn't warm up that much. But the good news as we look ahead in our forecast, Wenatchee there in the orange colored banners. 47 today, we're not going to get there, but tomorrow we're hoping for about 56 degrees. Friday, maybe a bit breezy, about 10 to 15 miles an hour, maybe even a morning shower on Friday, but highs much warmer. By the end of the week, we should see temperatures in the upper 50s, and we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The man killed in a collision with a dairy truck on Monday near Royal City has been identified. Another COVID-19 death has been reported in Grant County. And Governor Jay Inslee said Tuesday any FDA-approved COVID-19 vaccine must first meet the approval of a team of experts assembled by a pact of 4 western states. But first we begin tonight. Grant County deputies are looking for witnesses and victims after a vehicle pursuit of a robbery suspect this morning resulted in possibly several other collisions along the route of the pursuit in the May Valley area west of Moses Lake. If you were in that area and were forced off the road by a black Honda passenger car, please call the Sheriff's Office. That number 509-762-1160 and talk to the dispatcher. Deputies definitely want to talk to you. Well, the man killed in a collision with a dairy truck on Monday near Royal City has been identified as 31-year-old Payan Medinairrael of Othello. The Washington State Patrol says Medinairrael was driving on Highway 262 when he ran the stop sign at the intersection with Highway 26 and then hit a westbound dairy truck's trailer. The driver of that dairy truck, 45-year-old Ismael Silva of Moses Lake, was not injured. The 6 p.m. collision partially blocked Highway 26 for about 5 hours. A Quincy man in his 50s has become Grant County's 25th person to die from COVID-19. The Grant County Health District said the man had underlying health conditions that put him at higher risk for severe complications from the virus. In a statistical oddity, men in their 80s have accounted for men have accounted for 80% of Grant County deaths. Statewide, 53% of COVID-19 deaths have been men. Well, saying the Trump administration has eroded trust in the Food and Drug Administration, Governor Jay Inslee said yesterday that any FDA-approved COVID-19 vaccine must first meet the approval of a team of experts assembled by a pact of 4 western states. Inslee said the states, Washington, California, Oregon, Colorado, and Nevada, each will assign experts to review any approved vaccine.
Number 2, if we get a vaccine, we want it to work. It doesn't do a lot good to have a vaccine approved by the FDA, but then it never achieves real immunity with sufficient degree to knock down this virus so we can fully open our economy. And in order to make the vaccine work, we have to have a requisite number or percentage of people actually use it. And if people don't trust the system, some people may not use it. And there have been some reasons that people have espoused that they're concerned about whether the system is actually credible or not. Some of that, unfortunately, has been caused by the sort of ham-handed attempts by the president to monkey with the FDA process. And that has caused people to increase concerns. The number of people who've expressed their willingness to take the vaccine has gone down 15 or 20% in the last several months. In large part because they've seen the president trying to tell everybody he has a vaccine by election day. That's most unfortunate. So we have to fight against that lack of confidence. This will be an added layer of assurance and of an expert review that will help Washingtonians and others in Western states have greater faith and greater confidence in the vaccine so that we can increase the number of folks who actually get the vaccination. And of course, that's imperative if in fact we are going to beat this pandemic. This panel of experts, it was started by Gavin Newsom of California. We appreciate his leadership on this. It will include experts appointed by other member states, including our own, and it will be made up of nationally recognized scientists with expertise in immunizations and public health. And so it will bring an additional level of scrutiny to this process.
Coming up next, small business owners can learn about rules and regulations for operating during the COVID-19 pandemic and resources available to assist them by signing up for a free webinar. A $1 million donation by a Chelan couple is helping make the new Chelan Community Center a reality. And through the Chelan Douglas Health District has advised parents not to let their kids go trick-or-treating this Halloween, the district says there are lots of other fun and safe activities available. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify,
Yet you know when it's lacking.
So many things have promised us hope.
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Plans to give you a hope and a future.
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace.
as you trust in him.
so that you may overflow with hope.
By the power of the Holy Spirit.
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
Or destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
and resurrect your hope?
maybe it's time to hope again.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event, or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here, having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
Welcome back. In another news, small business owners can learn more about rules and regulations for operating during the COVID-19 pandemic and resources available to assist them by signing up for a free webinar being offered by the state. There will be presentations by several state agencies, including the Department of Revenue, Employment Security, Labor and Industries, and the state small business liaison team. There also will be a question and answer session. There are two dates available for the 2-hour workshops, one on November 18th and another on December 10th. More information is available and instructions for signing up for the COVID-19 Impact webinar. It's available at business.wa.gov. Well, a $1 million donation by a Chelan couple is helping make the new Chelan Community Center a reality. Scott and Brooke Isaac, who both have deep roots in the community, were high school sweethearts who now have 7 children and operate a successful business selling straw to mushroom farmers in Canada. Groundbreaking on the community center at Lake Chelan was held last week at its site on Bighorn Way. Just below the Lookout housing development, the 7 Acres Foundation, the driving force behind the project, said the center will provide a world-class facility for residents. The center will have a 25-meter indoor pool, gym, indoor play area, meeting spaces, and a commercial kitchen. The project is expected to be completed by summer of 2022. Well, though, the Chelan Douglas Health District has advised parents not to let their kids go trick-or-treating this Halloween. District spokeswoman Veronica Farias says there are lots of other fun and safe activities available.
As Halloween approaches, this year brings new challenges to ensuring the health and safety of our community. Hi, I'm Veronica, Communications Director for Chelan Douglas Health District. Chelan Douglas Health District recommends community members rethink their Halloween traditions and asks that families celebrate Halloween close to home, foregoing the traditional trick-or-treating. And to help you out, we have some creative ideas on how to keep it safe and fun this Halloween. Visit a local pumpkin patch. Bring a pumpkin home to carve. Remember, when outside your home, always wear a cloth mask and maintain social distancing, even in the outdoors. Put a new twist on trick-or-treating. Try a candy scavenger hunt in your yard, or fill a piñata and watch the candy fly. Throw a Halloween movie marathon. Break out the popcorn and settle in for the night with kid-friendly favorites or spine chillers, or both. If you feel the need to go out, choose a safe, socially distanced event, like the Candy Cruz in downtown Wenatchee. The Candy Cruz will be held in 3 locations on Halloween. Children will receive candy from within the safety of their own vehicles. Don't forget to wear your cloth mask. So put the emphasis on safety this Halloween. With a little creativity, this can be a Halloween to remember. Happy Halloween from the Chelan Douglas Health District.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
As the sun sets on another hot summer, let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa winterize and close your pool. Closing your swimming pool is the most important service to get right. Letting the professionals from Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa close your pool will ensure that you won't cost yourself thousands of dollars in damage next year. Want to save a little money? Consider dropping the water level yourself and save. Don't wait. Blue Lagoon's pool closing schedule is filling up quickly. Call today.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Most of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activities Center in Wenatchee has been shut down since spring because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but Executive Director David Tosh says sales at the center's thrift shop have been doing better than ever. That's even under restrictions on the number of people who can be in the store at the same time. In tonight's feature story, Tosh told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz that people have stepped up in a big way to help ensure that the success of the thrift store, which is vital to the entire center's success.
Well, it's been amazing. We've been able to meet all of the restrictions, keep within all the parameters, and we are setting new records in sales even though we're not open on Saturdays and we were last year. So we've been very, very pleased with how things are going. And of course, that's our lifeblood. That's how we're going to keep the organization together and reopen here one of these days.
So that's, how do you account for such good numbers? Even if because Saturday's always your busiest day to boot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking for things to do for one thing. We see a lot of the seniors that we see frequently in the senior center coming out just for something to do, but they're all spending money, and that's great.
That's great. And the things at the thrift store are things you're not going to find anyplace else. And a lot of people look for unique gifts and things that are original.
Well, and I think the other thing is people have been cleaning out their homes, their closets, their garages, and we've been inundated with donations, which is great. but that gives us a lot of good inventory, and the seniors take really good care of us with their donations. It's high quality, and I think that people have come to be aware that we don't put stuff out that's soiled or torn or any of that. That goes somewhere else. So it's just all high quality.
All right, time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. I don't have to tell you, it was a chilly one out there once again today. 39 our high yesterday. We didn't do much better than that today, unofficially at about 43 degrees, and that's 11 degrees below where we should be at 54 for this time of year. Right in the ballpark, though, for our low temperatures overnight. Record 70 in 2003, and our record low 23 degrees, and that was in 1971. Sunrise 7:39, and the sun will set tonight at 5:49. Let's take a look now at what we can expect as we take a look at that surface loop. Let's go to tomorrow's high temperatures, and they will be a little bit warmer. Man, we're keeping our fingers crossed because this temperature inversion just is keeping this cold air trapped here in the valleys. But this is what we're hoping for tomorrow. Upper 50s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, as well as the Wenatchee Valley. Wenatchee 57 degrees, Leavenworth 54, and Chelan, we're hoping you reach a high of 55 tomorrow. Tonight we can expect just quiet weather, maybe a little bit of patchy fog moving in later tonight. It will be mild overnight with lows in the mid to upper 30s. Cloud cover pretty much to the western part of the state. A little bit of shower activity as well in the northwestern part of Washington. As we get into Thursday, this is what we're hoping for. We just talked about much warmer temperatures because look at all of the clear skies throughout the country, and that yellow indicates mid to upper 50s, even 60 degrees. We're not going to be that warm tomorrow, but as I just showed you, maybe mid to upper 50s. As we get into Friday, look out for some breezy conditions out of the west, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Most of the cloud cover will be to our west. It will be mild once again for Friday. In fact, a lot of us will touch that 60-degree mark as we get into the end of the week. And then by Halloween on Saturday, it's too bad kids can't go trick-or-treating because it is going to be gorgeous. Mostly sunny and unseasonably warm for Halloween, with once again highs sticking mainly in the mid to upper 50s, and the same goes for Sunday to end our weekend. In fact, the entire United States just almost cloud-free for Sunday. Our temperatures will stay above normal. We'll talk in highs again in the upper 50s. Remember, normal is about 53 to 54 degrees. And then on Monday, mostly sunny, still very mild. I know we sound like a broken record, but here's our next weather maker as we get through next week, and it will start affecting us maybe on Tuesday too, with the 20% chance of showers. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the day. It'll stay fairly mild, but here's that frontal boundary as it moves through Washington State on Tuesday, and that could bring us just a slight chance for those showers. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 38 tonight, 57 tomorrow, almost 60 and breezy on Friday. Halloween looks great at 57, and we'll stay consistent Sunday through Tuesday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's Sports Report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. It is a happy day if you're a Dodger fan. The LA World Series champions for the 7th time in club history. First time since 1988 after a 3-1 win over Tampa Bay in Game 6 last night. Controversy came in the 6th inning when Rays manager Kevin Cash pulled starter Blake Snell for reliever Nick Anderson. It was nothing new for Cash. He'd played by the numbers all season long. That's what got him to the World Series. But Snell cruising through 5 1/3, allowing 1 run, just 2 hits, and 9 strikeouts. Anderson quickly gave up 2 runs, and the Dodgers went on for the win. Cash says he understands any criticism coming his way.
I felt Blake had done his job and then some. Mookie coming around for the 3rd time through. I value that. I totally respect and understand the questions that come with it. Blake gave us every opportunity to win. He was outstanding. They're not easy decisions. And that's where I came to the decision. I felt it was best after the guy got on base. Barnes hit the single. Didn't want Mookie or Seager seeing Blake a third time.
Definitely disappointed, upset. You know, I don't know. I just want the ball. I felt good. I did everything I could to, you know, prove my case to stay out there. And then for us to lose, you know, it sucks. Yeah, it's not, I mean, I don't really know what to say, you know. I want to win, and I want to win the World Series, and that's the goal. So for us to lose, yeah, I mean, it just sucks. I mean, I'm not going to question him. I mean, he's a hell of a manager, so I'm not going to question him. And I wanted to keep going, man. I felt so confident, you know, how I adjusted through seeing him a second time and what I was going to be able to do a third time. Like, man, I believed a lot in myself and what I did to, you know, hopefully see him a third time through and the fourth time if needed. I mean, I wanted to go that whole game. That was everything I wanted to do, was just, you know, burn the tank and see how far I could go.
Corey Seager was voted the World Series MVP after hitting 406 games with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. He and manager Dave Roberts were understandably all smiles afterwards.
I had a crazy feeling that came to fruition, and it's just a special group of players, organization, just all that we've kind of overcome. I just knew that we weren't going to be denied this year. You know what? I'm kind of looking at everyone and celebrating everyone else. So it's sinking in pretty quickly, and I'm obviously over the moon and happy for Julio and, you know, Clayton, that, you know, when people talk about him, it's World Series champion first, you know, then future Hall of Famer, you know, for Kenley, Justin, just everybody. I'm just so excited for all these guys.
Yeah, you know, it was absolutely phenomenal. This team was incredible. All throughout the year, all throughout the postseason, all throughout quarantine, you know, we never stopped. We were ready to go as soon as the bell was called, and once it did, we kept rolling. You know, we had an unbelievable postseason. Both sides of the field. We ran bases, we pitched, we played defense, we hit, we scored runs when we needed to. We were in big places. I mean, you can't say enough about what we did this year.
It just means everything. You know, I was traded for to help get us over the hump, and so I just use that as my fuel. And you know, since day one, that's obviously been the goal to win a World Series, and so I'm just happy to be a part of it. We needed to scratch across another run right there, just for you know, like you said, a little insurance, and you know, that time it came with the long ball, but you know, however happened, it just needed to happen.
No, I can't yet. It's just I've been saying, you know, World Series champs in my head over and over again, just to see if it'll sink in, and it just. So no, I can't put it into words yet. I'm just so very thankful to be a part of this group of guys, and so very thankful that we get to be on the team that is bringing back a World Series to the Dodger fans after 32 years. And they've waited a long time, and to get to do that, to get to be on the team that did that in LA, you couldn't ask for anything more. It's incredible.
Julio Urias was perfect over the final 2 and a third innings, allowing not a single base runner while striking out 4. In fact, Game 6 of the World Series set an all-time record for Ks. Both teams combined for 27 strikeouts. It's worth mentioning that Tampa Bay's lone run came in the first inning on a home run by Randy Arozarena. That gave him 3 for the World Series and 10 for the postseason. That's a record, and he, by the way, just a rookie. Congratulations to the Dodgers, World Series champions. Well, Sandy Cooperrider was hired to be the baseball coach at Wenatchee Valley College back in 1971. After years serving as the baseball coach, football coach, and athletic director, he, 20 years ago, began developing what is now a sports complex at Wenatchee Valley College that will bear his name. In 1991, a 7-acre patchwork of fields on campus that were used by local youth soccer clubs was condemned because the ring of poplar trees around the exterior were dying. That's when Cooperrider came up with an idea.
All of a sudden, this idea came. I says, well, why couldn't I convert this into a sports complex? Not knowing the enormity what I was about to endure. So I got a hold of one of my friends, and he was an architect, and I told him what I wanted to do. He drew up some plans, some rough plans at the time, and the idea was to put in a baseball, soccer, softball complex right on where the field is now. The Mike Hollis came later, okay? So as we started to evolve, I got a hold of a friend of mine that knew a lumberjack that was a guy that could fell trees. I asked him to come out. Can you give me a bid on cutting these trees down, which were huge? And he looked at it, and I told him what I was trying to do. Okay, build a facility that's going to be for the youth of this valley. And he said, I'll cut down the trees for $500. I said, whoa. I said, that's unbelievable.
Now, there was a little problem, however, with the idea of removing the trees. Cooprider says there's a way around any roadblock.
This guy came out. He was, he's a little guy. He was about 5'6", 5'7", but he wasn't little. I'll tell you what, he brought a chainsaw I have never seen the sights of before. It must have had a 6-foot arm on it. He started, revving that thing up, and lo and behold, we had a couple of our local artists that were protesting the cutting down of these trees because they love to draw them in the fall because of their aesthetic beauty. And so they were down there and they said, we're not going to let you cut these trees down. And so the guy that was going to fell the trees, he started that thing up and he cut his chip in the front, so that you make sure that the tree falls in the right spot. And he starts cutting through that thing. I'm going to tell you what, he's just slicing through it. And he stops right before he felt like it was going to fall. He says, ladies, this is going to fall, so you better move. And so they weren't going to move. So he said, it's coming down. And so they took off and they ran to the side. So it took him about 3 or 4 days to cut all the trees down.
And now that the trees were down, time to bring in the big equipment to remove those trees, stumps, and start moving dirt. And that's where local companies like Selling Construction, Pipkin Construction, Goodfellow Brothers all came in and helped really make what is now 4 separate fields come to life. Cooprider says the entire project also received $0 from the college or the state, so it was up to Sandy and a group of local benefactors to come up with the money to pay for the complex. We'll have more on that part of the story coming up tomorrow. Well, trying desperately to find a pass rush, the Seahawks added Damon Snacks Harrison off the practice squad yesterday to make room on the roster. Seattle waived defensive tackle Anthony Rush. Harrison, a former All-Pro with Detroit, has been on Seattle's practice squad for about 3 weeks, working into game shape. Seahawks currently ranked 29th in the NFL in sacking opposing team quarterbacks. That's not good. Seattle also last in the league in total yards allowed, passing yards allowed. They're hoping Harrison can help prepare as they get ready to take on San Francisco on Sunday. That's a look at sports news. Grant, you Dodger fan, congratulations back to you.
Thank you, Eric, and you got that right. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Join me for a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The topic, trick-or-treating. In a modified sense for downtown Wenatchee. They've been doing the downtown trick-or-treating for well over 30 years. COVID has, of course, mixed things up a little bit, but your ghosts and goblins can still head downtown and get that candy. Come Saturday afternoon, Linda Haglund, the executive director of the WDA, the Wenatchee Downtown Association, will be my guest tomorrow. Plus, we'll have news, weather, and everything you need to start your Thursday, which is the local way, which is the right way, which is here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.